Hi. So we are a few minutes early. Let's wait for people to catch on. Okay. We still have a minute left. So I'm just waiting. New trend in quarantine. Everybody's doing live sessions. The schools are going live, online sessions. I think we can live with it. It's not that bad. Okay, so it's time. So I would like to start. So, hi everyone. My name is Manasee Agarwal, and I am a mom influencer on Instagram. You can find me on mansi.agarwal. Do check out my spelling before you look for me because it's kind of different. So, my dad's responsible for it. I have no clue why it's Manasee. So, yeah, do find me there. And along with being a mom influencer, I am also a writer. Yes, I write short stories for children specifically. I work with this app called Hey Cloudy, and I write short stories for them. I've written quite a lot of mythology for children for them, like introduction to mythology for children. I write content for NGO called Prayas here locally, and I have written two books on veganism to introduce veganism to children on an early age. I really feel veganism is the need of the future, but uh, more on that topic some other time. Today, we are here to talk about storytelling, the magic of storytelling, and how it is significant to us and to our children. So, before I get into that, first I would like to tell you my journey. How is it that I came to understand the significance of storytelling in life, and why I think it is really important to pass it on to the coming generations. So, let me start from my childhood. When I say childhood, I think this is true for almost all of us. When we were all kids, we used to love our Cinderella, our Snow White, Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Daisy Duck. We used to love all these characters around us, and we all grew up watching them and reading stories, storybooks that we used to get from the library. At that time, we didn't have Amazon to buy, so we used to actually go to the library and pick books up for ourselves. And when I went to my teenage, I progressed to the Nancy Drews, the Hardy Boys, the Famous Fives. Who didn't love a good mystery in their teenage? And then came 8th, ninth, 10th. So during that time my parents were all like, ये सब छोड़ो, ये सब कोई काम का नहीं है, पढ़ाई करो. And I think that was the case with almost all of us. 70% of us grew up with that कि नहीं, अगर अपने करिकुलम के हिसाब से बुक नहीं है तो तुम वो नहीं पढ़ सकते, तुम म्यूजिक नहीं जाओगे, तुम डांस नहीं करोगे, तुम कुछ नहीं करोगे, तुम सिर्फ पढ़ाई करोगे. And most of us went through that. We can't really blame them for it, because that was the culture back then. Thankfully, that is not the culture now. That is not what we do to our kids. We take extracurricular as seriously as we take our normal studies for our children. I think we take extracurricular even more seriously. Like nowadays, I see that kids go to gymnastic class and they ace. By the time they're 10, 14, they're acing in karate, and they have a black belt, and all that is really nice. That nowadays parents are really encouraging of all that. So the same way, I think parents should be encouraging of storytelling classes also. So in my story, okay, I was not allowed to read anymore, and then same way आगे गया 12th हो गया, engineering हो गई. Ultimately, I drifted from it. I didn't read much after that, and with time, all that was just like sidelined. And after marriage, one day we went to Disneyland in Paris, and that is where a switch flipped. Like that was like, oh my god, the Disney castle, the Cinderella walking on the road, all these rides which were created among stories that we grew up watching, and I was like so mesmerized by it, and I was like, all these children over here are so happy, and I am so happy. The children must be so happy. And if ultimately, what was all that? It is all something that someone wrote down on a piece of paper with a pen. That is it, and it is so big today. And that is what Walt Disney gave us. So much happiness, so much dream, so much daydreaming he gave us. So I started feeling, this is what I always wanted to do. And if I can write, and if I can write something which makes even 10 kids happy, or teaches 5 kids something in my lifetime, I think I am happy with it. It will be like, even if I do 1% of what Walt Disney has done, so I'll be happy with it. And then I went again into all this, and I started reading more and writing more. And now today I am giving a live on, the magic of storytelling. So that is how my story goes. So, what was the point of me telling you my story? So, now when I tell you my story, some of you would already lose interest, would not be so interested in listening to this, and would like to leave the chat. Some of you would be even more inclined towards, okay, fine, okay, what is it that she wants to tell us? So, you would want to listen to it more. So, what did I do here? I tried to get you emotionally invested in me. So, that is the very first thing that a story does. It gets you emotionally invested in you. So, this is how our storytelling live chat that I'm doing right now. I'll tell you about storytelling in 3 aspects. One is emotional investment, then we'll go to absorbing, and then we'll go to expressing. So, when I say emotional investment, how do I explain it to you? Like, very simple example, one that I can give you is soaps. There is a Lux and there is a Dove. Okay, so we all buy either of the soaps. So why is it that we buy them? Because of the story that is created around it. Lux, celebrities ka sabun. So we like the fact that Deepika Padukone maybe uses this, or probably does an ad for this. So you get attracted to it and you go and buy that soap. Same way, when it comes to Dove, real women, it's for real women, for real beauty, moisturized skin. So then you feel, mere liye ye acha hai. So you will go and buy Dove. So ultimately, they are both made by Hindustan Unilever. It's the same company, it comes out from the same factory. But still, some of you would buy this and some of you would buy that. Why? Because of the story that is created around it. The story that you get emotionally invested in, that is what you buy. Same way it goes, washing powder Nirma or Daag Achhe Hai, whatever, the story that clicks to you, that is the product that you will buy. So it works on us also so much, like the charity that you donate to. Some of us would be invested in a girl child, like, things really good. We that story connects to us. Okay, so much wrong happens to a girl child. I want to give it to a charity which is helping girl childs. Some of us will feel ki animals get no kind of support from anyone. इंसानों के लिए तो सब करते हैं, animals के लिए कोई नहीं करता. So some of us will support some kind of animal charity. So why? Because that is what touches us. That story touches us. Movies, the best example of emotional investment. Ultimately, what are those? Something that is written on a piece of paper, and those movies, they grip us so much. So what is it that happens? Why is it gripping us so much? Why are we getting so emotionally invested in all of this? See, it is because there is this chemical that releases in our body called oxytocin. So when you hear a good story, that happy hormone oxytocin releases in your body, and somewhere that story registers in your subconscious mind, and then you act upon it. You absorb that story inside you. Now that is where we come to absorbing. So now when I talk about absorbing, so how is it that we adults, like we mothers and everyone, we absorb by, watching something, by reading, a lot of reading. Now when it comes to a younger child, how is it that you will make that child absorb something? Okay, for that you will have to make him a little curious about things. That is something that you will have to train the child at. How will he become curious enough to read? How will he become curious enough to absorb things around him, to absorb the stories around him or her? So that is where we have to come into action. And see, you can't act on something which you don't believe in. So my main agenda today is to make you believe in it. Like, okay, you, if you can get this emotionally invested, your child can also get that emotionally invested, and it will be really good for him. So I would like to give you a few tips on how is it that you can tell a story to your child so that he or she gets emotionally invested and becomes curious, and somewhere starts developing that skill where they start absorbing the material around them. So the first pointer I would like to give you is work on your voice. Yes, voice is the first and the main thing. The way I'm talking to you right now is not how I would tell a story to a child or explain anything to a child. For that, I will probably use a little more high pitched voice, and I would, use more body language, because only that can attract their attention. So, for this, I would like to give you a very simple example. There is this guy on YouTube called Blippy, Blippi. If you don't know, you should look him up. So the thing with Blippy is, when you will look at him now, you will feel, what's wrong with him? Why is he acting like that? Something is weird about this guy. And when my child watches Blippy a lot, so when he watches Blippy, he's like mesmerized. He's like so engrossed in whatever he's doing, and he actually understands whatever he is trying to explain. He teaches so much, and they actually learn, because he always uses a habit. Now tell me, kids, if this will sink or float. And then the kids really get into it, and they start laughing at his actions, and because he uses so much emotion, so much drama, and his body language, and oh my god, and it'll be like, oh my god, this sank. I'm so happy about it. So when you are telling your child any story, like, you have to act it out, express it out like some crazy person. Okay, like, for an example, I'm talking about an elephant. So I'll be like, Ranga the elephant was playing in the jungle, and he was like playing with all the trees, and he was flying his trunk here and there with the plants, and oh my god, leaves entered his trunk. Achoo, achoo. You have to do things like that, and when you do something like that, they'll start laughing, and they will connect with you a little more, and they will also have fun. You will also have fun, and that way, they will really start getting attracted to the art of storytelling, and they will start creating a bond with you also. Like, if you're a working mom or something, and you really can't spend the whole day with your child, and when you come back home, if you just do 2 stories with him like that, that will be like more than enough for the child. That he will actually look forward to my mom coming back, and we spending that 2 story time together, and that will really create a very special bond between you and your child. There is one more concern that most of us mothers have, that can be solved through storytelling, and the art of absorbing a story and everything. So we have this problem that our kids don't listen to us. बात ही नहीं सुनते. कि मैं बोलती हूँ कि टॉयज पैकअप करो, नहीं करते हैं. जूते वहां रखो, नहीं करते. कोई चीज समझाने की कोशिश करो ना कि ये ऐसा नहीं है, ये नहीं है, नहीं समझ में आता है हमको. तो what do we do about this? This problem can easily be solved by storytelling. So I will give you my own life example for that. So what happened is, my son, he's 3 years old. So I don't know from where, from school or from playing in the building, somewhere he caught on to this word called Gudda Baba. Gudda Baba, that is his word. And he created this persona which he's scared of. And he would not go to a room alone. He would not turn on the light and enter a room. And even if the light is on in a room, he will not go like, Mama, aap bhi aao, wahan pe Gudda Baba hoga. Main nahi jaunga. So he used to do all that. And that was really bothering me. And I tried to explain it to him कि कोई गुड्डा बाबा नहीं होता, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं होता, आप जाओ. बोले नहीं नहीं. So what I started doing is, I tell him stories during bedtime almost every day. So I started telling him stories about Gudda Baba. And one thing that you can really do when you want to explain something of this sort to your kid is you incorporate something that they already like in the story. Like my son is really obsessed with Spider-Man. Yeah. So what I did is I took Spider-Man in the story. So I told him that पता है, one baby was playing in the room, and then this Gudda Baba came and he started scaring the child, and then he screamed, Spider-Man, Spider-Man, bachao. The Spider-Man came running and he did soup, soup, and he scared Gudda Baba, and he did ha, and the Gudda Baba ran away, and he ran. The baby and Spider-Man were so happy, they gave each other high fives and they were laughing. And then what happened? When Spider-Man took his mask off, it was Ane. Ane is my son's name. So it was Ane. अरे Ane तो इतना strong boy है, वो तो किसी से नहीं डरता. बुड्ढा बाबा को तो zup zup करके भगा देता है. And I kept doing that with him for a few days. And in a week, I saw the difference. He only started saying things like, हाँ मामा गुड्डा बाबा तो कुछ नहीं होता, गुड्डा बाबा को तो मैं zup करके भगा दूंगा. And he started going into rooms alone. Little bit he was scared in the beginning. He used to wait, he would turn off the light, look here and there like, हाँ कुछ नहीं है. Then he started entering. So that thing happens. So now one more thing that I would like to get into your attention is, in this story I took a lot of action, like marna, peetna, zoop zoop and all that. Now why that is okay with my child? My Ane is very shy as a person, too shy. Like even a girl half his size comes and touches him like that, now he will start crying. He is that shy. So somewhere I have to keep teaching him about being a little bold, being a little brave in the stories, so that somewhere in his mind it registers and he probably starts acting that way in the future. And the characters that we get into our child's lives are really important. They really create an impression. So you have to be very careful of what kind of books you choose for them, at least initially, till they don't start picking up the books themselves. You have to be like really careful about what kind of books you get in. Like my son is shy, so I try that little bold and everything. But some kids are already very hyper, so you need to calm them down. So you can't tell them stories about marna pitna, because that will become really bad for them, because they will actually do it. I know my son will not actually do it. That is why I can tell him something like that. So that you have to be really careful about what kind of stories you create around them, what kind of books you pick up. You can find a book for almost anything on Amazon. So you can just go, and whatever kind of issue you're having, like even like cleaning up, packing toys, any sort of things, you will find stories on that. If you can't make them up, you can find them online and you can read them out to them, and make them interested in reading them ultimately. Because see, even now my child can't read, but he can understand the picture books. So once or twice that I've read the book to him, he understands what has happened, he remembers what has happened, and he'll just tell me ki ye aisa hua or ye aisa hua. He can't read it, but at least he can understand the entire story and he can go about it. And this like you can teach any sorts of emotions also to your kids through stories. Like it is very important for children to know what they're feeling, like if they're feeling happy, if they're feeling sad, if they're hungry, and that is why they're acting out and they're not actually mad. So how do you do all that? You can do all that also through stories. Like I tell him stories about space, like earth is sad because its greenery is going away. And Pluto is confused because it doesn't know if it's a planet anymore. Things like that you can create so that they, now they're like, "Hey, why is it sad? What is sad?" So then you can explain. Some questions arise in their head and they start becoming a little vocal about it. So that is where expression comes into the picture. The last and final part, the expression. But before I go into expression, I want to read out this motto of the Disney company to you. What Walt Disney has, the legacy that he has left for us. Okay, so it goes like that. Stories can transport children to imaginative faraway places, introduce them to inspiring characters, and empower them to unlock their inner strength. When you open your mind to new things, you never know what you might find. So this is the motto of the Disney company, which I absolutely believe in, and I want to carry this forward. And I want that all of you and most of you actually carry this forward and teach your children the magic of storytelling. And if you can't do it yourself, and you can try yourself, I've given you quite a few pointers out here. You can even put them in classes where they teach storytelling, if it's in their school or somewhere else, and it would really help them out. So now I'll tell you how is it that it will help them out in their life, okay, through expression. So now इमोशनल इन्वेस्टमेंट हो गया, ओके, सारा एब्जॉर्प्शन हो गया कि चलो उनको समझ में आने लगा, सुनने लग गए, समझने लगे, रीड करने लग गए. अब तो आगे कैसे जाएंगे? नाउ थिंग्स आर इनसाइड देम. नाउ हाउ विल इट कम आउट? Expressing becomes very important. Like very simple, and one very main example I can give you, it goes for us also, it goes for children also. All of us go through some sort of depression or anxiety or some sort of problems in our life always. So like even with a kid that happens, okay, like when they go to school, maybe some child is teasing them or something goes wrong, if some teacher says something and they are not happy with it. So they have to learn to be vocal about it and express it. They have to learn to probably write it down so that it helps them. Even if like I once worked with a psychologist, and there I understood that keeping a journal is a very good thing for a kid, where they can write down their emotions, and even if they're not sharing it with someone else, they can read and try to understand what they're feeling themselves. So how is it that we can make our children capable of expressing like that? So for this, I would like to give you a few tips, some things that you can really try with your kids, like with younger kids, like 3 4 year old, 5 year old. You can really try all this out. So the first thing I would like to tell you is about association. Like take very simple things. Like if the child is really young, you take very very simple things. Take things like there's a garden, okay, every child goes to a garden. Give him 5 pointers, like give him a garden, give him a girl, and a cat, swing, and sand. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll create a story around this. Like we'll tell them to create a story around this. And like if they can't do it, you can probably create one and show them so that they understand the concept, and then give them another 5 words to create. So like I'll tell you, like with these 5 words, how is it that we can create a story. So I will say something like this girl went to the garden to play. Okay, over there she was swinging on the swing set, and while she was swinging, she was really happy, she was really enjoying it, and suddenly a cat jumped in her way, and her leg hit the cat, and the cat fell far away in the sand. She got hurt. The girl got really afraid. She went and ran towards the cat, and then she saw the cat was hurt, so she called her mom. The mom and the girl took the cat to the doctor. The cat thankfully was fine, and but she had to be taken care of for a week. And in that week, the girl and the cat developed a very good relationship. Now they are best of friends, and they live together happily, and they play in the playground every day. So something of that sort. So very simple word association, simple things that they do every day in any case, like going to school, going to a garden. Give them very simple things, don't give them going into space for now, because they don't know space, they don't read, they don't understand. If they're understanding that kind of a thing, if they know, then yeah, probably for a older child. And you create such a story map for them, and give them the liberty to play around with it. You can also like do like a sentence thing with them, like you sit and you say one line, okay, she went to the garden and she was playing on the swing, and let the child tell you that, okay, the cat came in front of her. Then you say something, then you give them the liberty to say whatever they want. Don't let them go in a way that you would like to tell a story. Let them create a way they would like to tell a story. The your child can easily say that when the leg hit the cat, the impact was so high that the cat went and landed in space, so now it is in Mars. So it is okay if they want to say it. Let them use their imagination. Let their imagination go wild, let it like go crazy. So things like that will help them be really vocal. So that is my entire point out here, that they will value spending time with you, and they will build a relationship with you. They will build their imagination, and it will help them in any aspect in their life, any aspect. If they become a lawyer tomorrow, if they work in digital marketing, in advertising, anywhere, if they can express well, it will always help them in their life. So that, my friends, is the magic of storytelling. So please do take it seriously. So here is where I am done with my uh, my chat. So let me see if there are any questions out here. Okay, so I don't think this is working. I'm really sorry about that. I think I am done out here, and I hope you don't have any kind of queries about this. And if you really have some questions that you want, I think I'm getting some technical issues on the question answer side, so I can't see a lot of questions out here. So if you have anything, you can contact me on my Instagram page, and I'll be more than happy to answer your queries. So find me on Manasee Agarwal on Instagram. So see you. Bye bye.